Good morning, everyone. Oh my golly. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live. Very excited to talk with you on this very lovely Thursday morning. I've got to tell you, oh my goodness, I know it's been a short week given that it's Easter, but what's really awesome, I guess, about this is that I get to go skating tonight and tomorrow night and then on Sunday, and all of the skating goodness is happening. And, you know, it fills me up. It lights me up. I am so excited. But the other thing that I'm really excited about is the thing that I've been thinking about this morning. And if you read my blog yesterday, you'll know I've been doing a lot of thinking. I've been doing a lot of reading. I've been looking at, I don't know, like a whole bunch of different things when it comes to how we're showing up. I know that last year was a really big year for a lot of people. I know a lot of people had super high expectations on this year. And I think what we're seeing is still some flow-on effects actually from last year into this year when it comes to burnout, when it comes to, you know, trying to find the energy to kind of keep on going and then build momentum. I was reading a blog that a friend of mine wrote, a client of mine actually, wrote this morning about sharing some of the insights of what went on for her. She's a clinician, she's got private practice, she's also an awesome coach and mentor. She's just absolutely, by anybody's measure, she's absolutely killing it, right? And what I was thinking about is like the way that she shared what she shared this morning was that we don't always know, unless you're in the know, what's going on behind closed doors. I also had this conversation with another friend last night actually, and there was a comment made about some things that somebody should be doing or could be doing. And I said, yeah, but we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Now, I've been pretty pretty open with sharing a lot of my experiences and a lot of the lifestyle changes and different things that have happened in my life and my husband's life over the course of the years that many people just wouldn't even know. So I guess what I mean by this is, and the example that I gave was back in 2014, 2015, I was heavily involved in skating. I was the president of our league. I was coaching our new people, spending a lot of time trying to grow and do all of the things I had. So I was full on into skating. I was full on with business, full on with children, and the cracks started to show. I've shared reasonably pretty publicly that my daughter became really not well, you know, suffering from mental health issues, and I had to take a huge step back. And the thing that had to go at that time was skating. It would have seemed very knee-jerk from the outside looking in. So if you, again, like I'm a particularly, when I'm going through things, I'm a particularly private person, right? This might astonish you given that, you know, the some of the detail and the depth in which we share, that I share things. But I don't tend to share things while I'm going through stuff. I tend to share things after things are a bit more on an even keel. You guys are not my therapists. You know, I don't need you to fix things. And a lot of the time, like if you're going through some stuff, it's actually not necessarily appropriate for you to be sharing. Sometimes it is, but not all the time. It's not always appropriate for you to share everything that's going on in your life and in your world, in your content creation. Sometimes it can be great and sometimes, you know, not so much. But this story that I was telling was that on the outside, it looked like my business was going amazingly, which it was actually. My husband's work was going amazingly, which it was. You know, money was flowing, everything was going through, everything was awesome. I was traveling everywhere. But then, you know, there was the things that weren't working, was that I was kind of going this way on a train track. My husband was going this way on a train track. And you know what happens? If you keep going like that, we're screwed, right? Because we're not moving in the same direction, and that just doesn't work for the long term. So we had to do a track realignment. And you know, I'm going to use a great metaphor here. if you imagine train tracks, they are bolted down, they are heavy, they've got sleepers and they've got these big bolts. It's really fucking hard, right? To come along and shift those train tracks. There's a lot of earth moving that needs to happen. You got to make sure that the new tracks are moving in the right direction, and that so that you can get back on the train and travel at least in a very similar direction so that you're landing in the same destination. Tracks that go like that, it's never going to happen. So it took a lot of work. And what I was saying, that the reason that I was sharing this, I said, no one else knew what was going on. Very, very private. Didn't want anyone to know anything at all. And this is often true for things that you're experiencing, right? We don't know what's going on. And so when I read this post this morning of my friend and client, I was like, wow, I knew some of the things that were happening, but I didn't know everything. And it's no wonder that these things happen. And I think what we've got to get better at doing when we're marketing, when we're creating content, when we're sharing our stories, when it's appropriate, that we're letting people know that there are actually a whole lot of other things going on in our world that everybody else, that the general public is probably not actually privy to. Now, before I was jumping on here, I was thinking about all of the things that we juggle as particularly, look, I know the guys, I know this is not a thing to use, it's very generalized and it's not all men and, blah, 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 all that stuff. But the thing that I was thinking about for women, right? And I tend to work with women, but the thing that I was thinking about is how many roles we need to fulfill, how many hats we need to wear literally on a daily basis, sometimes on an hourly basis, and sometimes even more frequently than that. So I created a list, and I'm going to read it out. I will put it in the comments later. But here's the things that you need to be. If you're in business and if you are doing the things that you're doing, here's the things that you need to be. A negotiator, the money lady, the marketing lady, the HR lady, the content lady, the schedule checker, the grievance person, the emailer, the CEO, the bargainer, the balancer, the mother, the creative, the muse, the advisor, the coach, the trainer, the inspirer, the motivator, the nurturer, the counsellor, the daughter, the wife, the prodder. You'll be the subject, the leader, the influencer, the contender, the amplifier. You'll be being in the background. You'll be being in the forefront. You're going to be the listener, the talker, the cook, the cleaner, the coffee maker, the receiver, the giver, the technician, the researcher, the writer, the collaborator. Right? I'm exhausted. No wonder everybody, in quotes, everyone, doesn't matter whether you've got a huge team or whether you've got people to help you out or whatever it is. Hi, Alison. How are you? The thing is that we've got so many roles that we need to fulfill, and we're juggling constantly trying to keep our eyeballs above water. We've got to look at a way to streamline things. And I think one of the most important things that you can ever do is create time and space for all of these, or each of these things to happen, not all at the same time. And I think this is why I know I've been in that cycle of burnout and adrenal fatigue. And, when I hit those moments, when I'm really fatigued and when I'm really exhausted, it's like the creativity doesn't kind of kick in, right? So we've got to create time and space for creativity. You've got to create time and space for the things that need to be done. You have to track your money every single day. You've got to make sure that your bills are being paid or that you're negotiating. That needs to be added onto the list, actually. I'm just going to put the negotiator. And if you've got kids, you'll know what I mean by that, as well as with other things that come in. That there are always things that need to be done. The other really big thing that you've got to be allocating time to doing is being, right? And that means that sometimes you will just be sitting there with your journal doing the work. I spent time doing this yesterday. I was talking about that. I think it's so important that we all get better at saying no to certain things that get thrown our way, that get put in front of us. Opportunities, yes. Is it aligned? If it's not aligned, it's a no. You don't have to explain yourself. You can just say thank you and no, right? And You can also say an aligned yes, but you've got to have a look at, right, where am I going to allocate this to? Who am I being in this moment? What does it fulfill the goals that you want to achieve? And does it have you moving on that train track towards the destination that it is that you actually want to get to? But most of all, you've got to hold the space for that stuff to happen. The consequence to not doing this is that the things between, I guess, like the ease in which you move between these roles and move between these hats can become a lot harder. And the fact is this: you are the glue that holds it all together. You're the glue that holds your family together. You are the glue that holds your business together. You are the glue that holds your events together, that holds your marketing together. It does everything that we were talking about before. We rely on you. So we need you to be at your best. Here's the challenge that I'm going to set out for you. When are you going to sit down and actually allocate yourself some time out? I set a challenge to my one-on-one clients this year, and I said, here's the thing that I want you to do. Every quarter, I want you to have a long weekend, not in the holidays. And I mean, you can have it in the holidays as well if you wish, but I want you to organize a Friday and a Monday off every single quarter so that you've got time to recoup, regenerate, rejuvenate, relax, whatever it is. And it's not about allocating in, oh, I'll run an event on that long weekend. No. That's your time for rejuvenating, replenishing, getting back to center. Now, it might not be a Monday and a Friday for you. It could be whatever it happens to be. But make sure that you're allocating time out every quarter for you to just be. You know, it's so interesting. It's like I sat on the couch the other day, a couple of days ago, school holidays here in Victoria. And I lay on the couch with my son and my daughter, and we watched, my youngest daughter, and we watched a movie in the middle of the day. It's school holidays, and I was feeling really guilty. I'm like, oh my God, because I wasn't working. You know, I wasn't content creating. I wasn't ticking off things off my list. And I was like, hang on a second. This is aligned. I'm also a mother as well as a business owner and everything else that I do and who I am. And this is the most important thing that I could possibly be doing right now. So who am I being? What's the most important thing I can be doing right now? And cut yourself some freaking slack. Because if you are doing all of these roles all day, every day, then you're going to burn out. And we need you to be on top of your game. We need you to be doing the work you're doing. We need you to be out there helping your people, inspiring and motivating. So you just got to make sure that you've got the energy to be able to get out there and make that happen. So fill up your own cup first and foremost. All right. Good morning, Carmen. Good afternoon, Carmen. Miss Phoenix, Carmen. All right. I am going to love you and leave you. If you've got any questions about this, let me know. We have got the very fabulous Contentology program rolling out again this month, ready for May. So you can go in the running to win $1,000 and be crowned the Queen of Contentology. It is the ultimate 30-day visibility challenge. It doesn't matter if you've been in it before. You can register again and you can go in the running again to win $1,000 and a crown and a whole bunch of awesome things. So on that note, I am going to love you and leave you. Have a really fantastic, awesome, and amazing day. Get out there, go help some people, have a whole ton of fun doing it. But most of all, remember, the world is ready for your brand of awesome and we really freaking need you. So look after you first. Have a great day.